The interrogation chamber hummed with alien technology, its walls lined with neural dampeners and truth extraction matrices that had broken the minds of 1,000 species. Commander Marcus Chen sat calmly in the restraint chair, his weathered, hands folded in his lap, watching the three Kithaeron interrogators with mild curiosity. The lead interrogator, Vexthul, was a towering creature with chitinous armor and eyes like burning coals. His voice rasped through the universal translator, with barely contained fury. "Human, you have defied the galactic dominion for 3 standard cycles. Your species refuses to submit to our rightful rule." Marcus nodded thoughtfully. "That's accurate." "We have studied your military records," Vexthul continued, his mandibles clicking with agitation. "Your fleet commanders boast impressive kill counts. Admiral Zhao, 47,000 enemy vessels destroyed. General Morrison, 120,000 ground troops eliminated. We respect strength, human. Tell us your kill count, and we will consider offering you a position in our hierarchy." The other interrogators leaned forward expectantly. The Kithaerons had conquered 67 star systems by identifying and corrupting the strongest warriors of each species. It was their standard protocol: find the apex predators, appeal to their bloodlust, and turn them against their own kind. Marcus was quiet for a long moment, his gray eyes distant. Finally, he spoke. "My kill count." "Yes," Vexthul hissed. "How many have you slaughtered? How many enemies have fallen before your might? We know humans prize their warriors. Surely you must have an impressive tally to have reached your rank." Marcus smiled sadly. "I've never killed anyone." The chamber fell silent. The interrogators exchanged confused glances, their neural interfaces flickering as they processed this impossible statement. "Explain," Vexthul demanded. "You command the human fleet that has destroyed our forces across 3 sectors. You personally led the defense of New Geneva. Our records show—" "I'm a doctor," Marcus interrupted gently. "Well, I was. Combat medic turned field surgeon turned chief medical officer. I've been in every major engagement of this war, yes, but my weapon isn't a plasma rifle or photon torpedo." He gestured to the medical insignia still visible on his torn uniform. "I save lives. That's what I do. That's what I've always done." The interrogator's confusion deepened. Vexthul's voice carried a note of uncertainty. "But you lead. Others follow you into battle. How can this be if you are not a killer?" Marcus leaned back, his expression thoughtful. "During the Battle of Kepler Station, I performed surgery for 36 hours straight while the station was under bombardment. I saved 847 people that day, human and alien alike. Yes. Some of those aliens were your own forces." The neural dampeners began to flicker. The interrogator's eyes widened as their certainty wavered. "At New Geneva, when your orbital bombardment breached the civilian shelters, I led the evacuation. Teams. My kill count that day was negative 12,000. That's how many people I pulled from the rubble. Men, women, children, even rescued some of your own pilots who'd been shot down." Vexthul's mandibles began to tremble. "This cannot be. Leaders must be killers. The strong rule through strength, through death, through sacrifice," Marcus finished quietly. "But not the sacrifice of others. Through the sacrifice of self." He stood slowly, the restraints having mysteriously powered down as the alien technology struggled to process concepts it had never encountered. You want to know why humans follow me? It's not because I can kill efficiently, it's because they know I'll die before I let them come to harm. The second interrogator, a smaller creature with crystalline features, spoke in a whisper. But how do you win wars without killing? Marcus walked to the chamber's viewport, gazing out at the stars. Every person I save becomes someone who believes in something worth fighting for. Every enemy soldier I treat when they're wounded becomes a seed of doubt in their ranks. Every civilian I evacuate becomes a story that spreads, that there's a different way to be strong. The truth extraction matrices began to overload, sparks flying from the alien technology as it encountered data it couldn't categorize or comprehend. You've conquered 67 civilizations by corrupting their strongest warriors, Marcus continued. But what happens when a species' strength doesn't come from its capacity to destroy, but from its refusal to let others be destroyed? Vexthul staggered backward, his exoskeleton beginning to crack under some invisible pressure. No, this is impossible. Strength is domination. Power is power, Marcus said, turning to face them with eyes that held the weight of every life he'd saved, is looking at someone who could be your enemy and choosing to heal them instead. It's standing between death and the innocent, not because you have to, but because you choose to, every single time. The interrogation chambers. Systems began failing one by one. The neural dampeners exploded in showers of sparks. The truth extractors collapsed into themselves, unable to process a reality where the greatest warrior was one who had never killed. The interrogators clutched their heads as their world view, built on millennia of conquest through corruption of the strong, crumbled around them. How could they turn humanity's greatest weapon against itself when that weapon was mercy? As the chamber's containment fields failed and rescue sirens began to wail, Marcus walked calmly toward the exit. He paused at the threshold and looked back at the three aliens, now curled on the floor, their minds fractured by an impossible truth. "For what it's worth," he said softly, "my medical oath extends to all sentient beings. When your people are ready to stop conquering and start healing, I'll be here." The door slid shut behind him, leaving the interrogators alone with the devastating realization that they had finally encountered a form of strength they could neither understand nor corrupt. The strength to choose compassion over conquest, healing over harm, hope over despair. In the distance, the human fleet held its position, waiting patiently for their commander's return, ready to follow the man who had taught them that the greatest victory was not in defeating their enemies, but in refusing to become them.